Hey coach, in this video, I'm going to show you why most coaches stay self-employed coaches forever, which is why they never end up growing their businesses. I'm also going to show you what you can do to solve this problem. That way you can grow your coaching business to $5,000 plus per month without sacrificing your health, your happiness, or your relationships. If we haven't met, hey, I'm Nathan. I'm a mechanical engineer turned vocal coach, and I grew my coaching business to $5,000 plus per month while working less than 8 hours a week while still in my 9 to 5. So this isn't based on theory, this is based on my lived experience. Now, what exactly is a self-employed coach? Well, it is someone who sets out to build a coaching business only to end up creating a job for themselves. A job that requires much more time and pays way less money than a regular 9 to 5 and is slowly leading them to the point of burnout. They are active on social media, but either aren't getting any business results or don't know how to measure those results, so they think likes, comments, and shares is equal to business growth, and it isn't. They reach out to complete strangers to jump onto calls with them so that they can help them solve a problem they haven't even admitted they have in the first place. This positions them as a telesalesman, not an expert, and to be a coach and grow your coaching business, you 100% need to be positioned as an expert. They are constantly dropping their prices to get a client, and worse, they work with tons of people for free in the name of gathering experience. Their solution to sales, marketing, and fulfillment is themselves. They have no system put in place. The worst part, their income is both inconsistent and compared to their living expenses, their income is insignificant. Now, again, I don't know this because I read it somewhere in a book, but because this literally used to be my life. I lost my job in mechanical engineering in 2018, and then I started working as a vocal coach. This was an absolute struggle for me. I used to charge people 500 Rand a session for vocal lessons. That's like $25. Trying to get clients was an absolute struggle. Trying to convince people that I could help them sing better was an absolute struggle. If I got more clients, this was also a struggle because there were only so many hours in a day and I could not work with more than 10 people in any given day. The worst part is I was working in person, so I had to drive to people who wanted my lessons. This was an absolute horror. Now, I struggled to understand what exactly the problem was because I knew I was good at singing. People had previously paid me to teach them how to sing. People previously paid me to sing at weddings, funerals, at events. I mean, I should not be struggling as a vocal coach. But here's the fundamental difference, and this is why most coaches remain self-employed coaches and never get to the point where they actually build a coaching business. There is a fundamental difference between being an amazing coach, which I'm sure you are, and being a good business owner. You see, the difference between being a great coach and being a business builder is the same difference between being a baker, a good one, and running a successful bakery. What's required to get success as a baker is very different to get success running a bakery. To be a great baker, you need to develop your skills. To run a successful bakery, you need structure, support, and systems. Without this, you will not run a successful bakery. The same is true when it comes to running and growing your coaching business. You will need more than just being a great coach. You need the right structure, which is essentially, are you doing the right things and are you doing them in the right order? If you are not doing the right things in the right order, you will not grow your coaching business. Secondly, you need systems. Can you do the right things at scale without jeopardizing your health, your happiness, or your relationships? If you do not have the right systems, you will not grow your coaching business. And finally, to grow your coaching business, you will need support. Do you have accountability mechanisms? So how do you know you're doing the right things? And if you are, what can you do to improve them? Imagine driving a car without a fuel gauge. The only way to know that you've run out of fuel is when the car stops. It's much the same for you and I when it comes to growing our coaching businesses. You need to have a visual representation of your performance in the business. You need to know what isn't working so you can stop doing it entirely. You need to know what you can do better so that you can pivot. And you need to know what is working so you can double down on doing just that. Without this degree of support, whether you get it from someone else or with software, you will not grow your coaching business. Now, the consequences of remaining a self-employed coach is living way beneath your full potential. You will only ever work with a few people at a time, if you ever work with people. You will always compete on price. You will struggle to position yourself as an expert in your industry and in the minds of your target audience. And the worst part is this: the success of your business will come at the expense of your health, your happiness, and your relationships. If I've not made it abundantly clear yet, despite being a great coach, to grow your coaching business, you will actually have to build your coaching business, the system that delivers value to the marketplace and it allows you to drive value for your clients at scale. If you do not do this, if you do not take the time out to actually develop the system that is your business, here's what will happen. You will not grow your business. Now, as promised, here's not just what you can do to grow your business, but exactly what I did to grow my coaching business as a struggling vocal coach. Disclaimer: it is very important that you follow these steps in this order. The first thing you must do to grow your coaching business is you must clarify and validate your coaching offer. Now, what is your coaching offer? Well, it's what you do, who you help, and how you help them solve their problem. If you cannot clearly articulate what you do to your ideal clients, they will not see you as an expert in your industry. When you can communicate your ideal clients' problems better than they can, they will naturally assume you have the solution to the problem. This is exactly what will position you as an expert. But that only speaks to the clarification aspect. You also need to validate your coaching offer. What does that mean? You need proof, written or video testimonials, that your coaching program can do what it says it can do on the tin. Until you have other people who make this claim about your coaching business, your coaching program is not validated. Why is this important? Well, the fundamental difference between the coaches who are winning in business versus the coaches who aren't winning in business, specifically online, is that all coaches make big, bold, audacious promises. Only few coaches can back those promises up with proof. You need to validate your coaching program and you need to display that validation online. The second thing you must do to grow your coaching business is you must design and deploy a sales process that predictably converts a percentage of people in your sales process into paying clients. Now, why do you need to predictably convert potential clients into paying clients? Well, because there are expenses in business and you have predictable living expenses. If your revenue, which is what you get from paying clients, isn't predictable and greater than your expenses, then it's only a matter of time until you cannot run your business at all. And if you're a self-employed coach and you aren't doing this full-time, then it's more than just your business that ends. You compromise your standard of living. Your sales process describes the predictable set of steps your ideal clients must take to get from one stage in the buyer journey to the stage where they ultimately make a purchase. If it is not crystal clear to you how strangers become clients, how do you expect strangers to understand what the steps are to becoming a client with you? It's not going to happen. You need to design a sales process. The third and final requirement to growing your coaching business is this: you must build and launch a scalable marketing system. What does that mean? It means you need to develop a system that attracts total strangers on social media and sends hundreds of them into your sales process every single month. Strangers who match your ideal client profile. And just in case I didn't go over this, your ideal clients are the people who experience the maximum pain around the problem you solve. They will experience the maximum benefit from the solution, and they are both willing and able to pay for the solution. Once you have clarified and validated your coaching offer, designed and deployed a sales system, and built a marketing system that attracts hundreds of strangers on social media who match your ideal clients into your sales process, once you have done this, coach, you will grow your coaching business. Now, if you'd like help identifying the exact constraints that are preventing you from growing your coaching business, if you're a self-employed coach and you know that there is a difference between being a great coach and actually building a coaching business, and you'd like my help in doing that, then I'd like to invite you to a free 45-minute coaching session with me called the Profitable Coach Audit and Action Plan. On this call, we'll look at your business through the lens of sales, marketing, and fulfillment to identify what constraints exist so that you can remove them, because it is this simple. If you remove the constraints in your business, you will grow your business. If you're serious about growing your coaching business, click the link below, schedule the audit, and I'll catch you in the next video.